Hi, this is Passy's World of ICT, and today we're having a look at integers in the real world. That's how positive and negative numbers are used in our daily lives. Let's look at speeding. We can drive over the speed limit, but that can prove to be expensive. Or we can drive under the speed limit and hold up all the other cars by going slow. Integers in body weight. We can be overweight, or we might have an eating disorder and be underweight on the body mass index scale. This scale is set up as a grid of how much you weigh versus how high you are, and that way you can find out whether your weight is okay. Integers in golf. Each golf hole has par, which is the number of shots it should take to get the ball in. If you take less shots than this, you're going well, and that's called under par. That's negative, and that's actually good. Over par is positive. For example, if a hole was supposed to take 4 shots, but it took me 6 shots, well then I've gone 2 shots over par. We'll look at some innovations on the internet to improve your golf. But by far the most brilliant innovation we found was the one shown in this short video.
No way, I'm not paying you. This is ridiculous. Every hole, it's the same crap.
Hey, don't, I wouldn't.
Let's continue by having a look at integers in music charts. Each week, a given song can move up the charts, gaining places in a positive direction, or it might be falling down the charts in a negative path. On the stock market, we have positive gains as stocks go up in price, and we also have negative losses as the stocks move down. In batteries, positive and negative charges are produced by chemical means to make electricity. Positive and negative charges are also used in electroplating to make silver spoons and really nice silver jewelry. When we do computer downloads, we have the download occurring, which is positive as data comes into our machine, and as we share data out of our machine to others, that goes in a negative transmission path. Notice also on these graphs that the download speed varies. Sometimes it is increasing in a positive direction, other times it is decreasing, which is negative. When a rocket takes off, the thrust power of its engines create a positive force, moving it away from the Earth's gravitational field and into outer space. Buildings have floors that are above ground level. These are labeled as positive, while the underground car parks are negative. Last year, we were fortunate enough to visit the Burj Khalifa, which is the world's tallest building. At level positive 124, the view was positively awesome. We also visited the pyramids in Egypt, which were built 2,500 years before the birth of Christ. That's negative 2,500 years. The Burj Khalifa, which opened up in January 2010, would sit at positive 2010 years on the history timeline. In drag racing, cars create tremendous force through their big engines to go very fast in a forward direction. Normal car brakes are not going to stop those vehicles, so additional parachutes are required to increase the negative braking force and bring the car to a safe stop. But let's have a look at this short video that shows what happens when the parachutes fail to deploy.
Tony Bartone at the finish line. A great job on Marty and the crews. He's got parachute issues. 5:54, hold on tight. We may be getting into the kitty litter here.
Oh, wow, he went way in.
Everybody holding their breath now. They've extended the runoff area there with a couple of catch nets, new this year at Englishtown. A year ago, that probably was a whole lot worse, but we've got the 2 catch nets there, the extended gravel traps and energy barriers. On the other side, the good news is there you see Marty visibly upset, but out of the race car. That's good news.
Actually,
when planes take off, they ascend to a positive value in height, whereas when a plane lands, it's coming in the opposite negative direction, descending. When we have a truck and a trailer, there are 2 separate sets of brakes, one for the truck and one for the trailer. It's very tricky in a truck to get it right, because you don't want the truck brakes pulling on too hard, or the trailer will swing round the side of the truck and crash. But then you don't want the trailer brakes being too powerful either, because that will lock up the back wheels of the trailer and drag the truck. So this also has to vary with how much load you're carrying on the truck, and so the mathematics and engineering involved here are quite complex and very clever. When it doesn't work though, and the trailer wheels lock up, they can slide and actually go ahead of the truck, and that's a jackknife situation resulting in a major wreck. When people gamble, they might start off with some money in a gaming machine, but then they start losing it in a negative direction. Or maybe they get lucky and win more money than they actually put in and get a positive result or a win. World record times. When racing, you can come in over the world record, or you can break the world record and come in under world record time. Now, no points for guessing who's who in that picture. That's right, the guy with the gold medal came in and won in under world record time. Mount Everest is the highest point above sea level at positive 8.8 kilometers, while the Mariana Trench, which is in between Australia and Japan, is the lowest point on Earth, which is minus 10.9 kilometers under the sea. Of course, when you get to the top of Mount Everest, the oxygen level is negative. It's underneath what is required to sustain human life, so they have to use oxygen tanks to make the final ascent to the top of Everest. When you're saving money, that's a positive thing, and we call that being in credit. When you borrow money or you owe lots of money, you got bills to pay, well, that's all debts, and that's negative money, or called a debit. This is quite interesting, this graph we found on the net, which shows, since 1985, the level of debt is just skyrocketing as people overspend on their credit cards and get bills which they cannot pay. The police set up roadblocks and do drink and drug tests. If they give you the test and there are no drugs present, that's called a negative result. However, if drugs or alcohol are detected in your blood, well, then that comes up as a positive result, but this time the positive result is bad news. Integers are involved with blood pressure. We could have low blood pressure, which means our blood is not pumping hard enough through our veins, or we could have high blood pressure, suggesting that we have blocked arteries and capillaries and perhaps the onset of heart disease. Well, we hope you're feeling a bit more positive about your mathematics after learning some of these things of integers in the real world. Why not visit our blog sometime or check out some other videos on our YouTube channel. This is Passy's World of ICT. Thank you very much for watching today's presentation.